Hello, I'm Ken Morrison. I'm here with Professor Greg Clark and we're talking about what we need to do to make Australian cities great. We've commissioned Greg and the Business for Cities to do a major piece of thought leadership work to answer precisely that question. Greg, what are some of the challenges facing Australia's cities?
Well, Ken, the challenges facing Australian cities are actually the challenges facing all cities. We're in a period of rapid urbanisation around the world. Some people call this the metropolitan century. And during this time, there are some very big drivers of change. The first one, of course, is rapid population urbanisation. People are moving to cities. But alongside that, we have the re-urbanisation of jobs and business. So if you like, both people and companies are trying to get into cities at the same time, which means we need to try to put them together. Now, we're also living in the time of climate change and resource efficiency and reducing the amount of car travel, reducing the carbon emissions from buildings and from transport is a very important challenge that all cities are seeking to respond to.
And you also looked very closely at how the world ranks us. What did we learn from that?
Well, we looked at the 5 top Australian cities in more than 350 different comparative benchmark studies. We compared them to the 5 top cities in Canada, Germany, Scandinavia, Southwest USA and Asia Pacific. And we said, how are these Australian cities doing? And you won't be surprised to hear that Australian cities are doing really well in terms of their brand, their attractiveness, the sense of excitement that they generate, the desire that people have to go and live in them. They're doing well in terms of their air quality. They're not highly polluted cities. And they're doing very well in terms of their educational offer, their arts and creative offer, and their tourism style. But increasingly, when the world looks at cities, they start to compare them on areas where Australian cities don't perform so well. So one of these, of course, is infrastructure provision and the implications that has for travel times, particularly commute times, the amount of time wasted sitting in a car. Secondly, the densification of the city, as it were, the efficiency of the land use and how closely people live to amenities. So if you like, the demand is for a high amenity lifestyle in a medium density city. Australian cities not performing very well there. The third big challenge is the innovation economy. Although Australian cities have wonderful universities and great knowledge-rich institutions, translating that into business and jobs is not something that Australia is doing particularly well at.
So what does that mean that Australian cities need to do differently than what we're doing now?
So firstly, it's very clear that we're going to need a new infrastructure investment system. Government finances on their own are not going to be enough to invest in Australian cities in the way that's required. Secondly, we need a way of optimising infrastructure investment by reforming land uses so that they take advantage of the shaping effect of transport and other investments. Thirdly, I think we have to get into much better place-making and place management systems for Australian cities. And then fourthly, I think there's going to need to be a very strong emphasis on economic diversification and how we host the knowledge economy and how we use that to retain world-class talent in Australian cities.
So a lot of those things are things that governments at one level need to do. What about business? What's the message for business here?
Well, the message for business here, Ken, is that business should step up and be part of the leadership of this. It's not enough for business to wait for government to act. And in the case studies that we've done of the other cities around the world, it's very clear that proactive business leadership has in many cases been the key catalytic ingredient in making change happen. For example, we've looked at New York City, where the Regional Plan Association has brought together business leaders to really create a new approach to infrastructure investment and infrastructure planning.
Well, thank you very much, Greg. If you'd like to find out more about this work, then you can find the full reports on our website, and I hope you can join the conversation.